We are counting down to that big T20 World Cup final between England and Pakistan. Well, everyone had been waiting for an India and Pakistan final, but it wasn't to be. But I can promise you that this is also going to be a cracker of a contest at MCG tonight. But before all of that begins, I'm joined by the CEO of Visit Victoria, Brendan McLemans, to talk about how it looks like. Brendan, it is no India-Pakistan. Are the sentiments a little low with England clashing against Pakistan?
Well, I think in India, certainly there might be a little bit of disappointment, but in other parts of the world, England, I suspect, and Pakistan as well, they're delighted. And from our perspective, we couldn't be more pleased to have another full MCG, another opportunity to show off our wonderful state to people around the world.
So we were expecting a sea of blue here. Do we see a sea of green and a sea of blue and red?
I think it'll be a sea of green tonight. From what I've seen so far, the Pakistan fans have been amazing in their turning out. I was lucky to be in Sydney and saw 30,000 Pakistan fans there. So I think it's a sea of green likely at the MCG today.
Tell us a little bit about, the crowd that has flocked in. I believe I can see a lot of Asian faces and a lot of Pakistani, Indian faces. Would you say a lot of tourists who've come in from other parts of the globe for the T20 World Cup?
We've seen tens of thousands of people from around the world come to Melbourne for this event.
Can you give me a ballpark figure of how many tourists have travelled?
We think it's around 60 to 70,000 people so far. That's before the game tonight. And the majority of them are from India. So it's been a fantastic experience to be in Melbourne and enjoy the Indian culture and the experience of being at a game where the India-Pakistan rivalry is so prominent, but also then to see cricket perform so well on the stage at the MCG.
Now, while you are selling them cricket, I believe you're also selling them a lot about unique Australian experiences, the visit to countryside, some of the trails. Tell us a little bit about what are you telling them to experience while they are in Victoria?
Well, certainly, most of India knows about the MCG, but Melbourne has so much more to offer to visitors. It's a beautiful city to come. We have cultural experiences, obviously sporting experiences, a wonderful food and wine scene. And certainly, if you want a bit of that Australian native eye candy, there's kangaroos, koalas, wombats, emus, just a couple of hours outside of the city. So it's a perfect place to get a unique Australian experience.
Also, while we know that MCG is an iconic venue, we also know that Melbourne is the sports capital of the world. And you have the Australian Open happening every year. You have the 2026 Commonwealth Games coming up. So how is Melbourne going to, renew itself or rebrand itself for these grand events coming up?
Well, we think it's a great opportunity, and we think Melbourne is renowned for that ability to host events of that scale. Yes, and you're right. The tennis, the Formula One Grand Prix, for us, the Boxing Day Test happens every year as well. And we're always searching the globe for the next thing. So the Commonwealth Games will be fantastic. We're having a very close look at the Rugby World Cup in 2027. And we've got a lot of things planned over the next couple of years to keep people wanting to come back to this city.
Brendan, you have an intrinsic connection with cricket. Let me ask you about who do you think will be the heroes from either side tonight?
Oh, look. It's difficult as an Australian because there's Mike Hussey with the English team and Matthew Hayden obviously with the Pakistan team. I'm hoping, and this doesn't go any further than us, I presume, but for Pakistan to win tonight. I think it'd be great for that country to redeem itself after some of the close calls in recent times and also lift the spirits of the Pakistani people. So I think, quietly, Pakistan for me tonight.
And even though Australia is not a part of this big final, everyone here believes that either way, it'll be an Australian winning tonight. In Melbourne, Rika Roy for NDTV.